Hey folks, Chris once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another request assigned from Derek. And he wanted me to watch this YouTuber called... So let me go down here. The Clarity Project. I've heard stories about her. Unfortunately, sadly, she passed away because she had a disease called cystic fibrosis. I apologize I'm saying that, but yeah, it's sad. Very sad, but I dedicate this video to her and her family, so without further ado, let's check it out. Yay!
So here's a little glimpse of my mind and the craziness that goes on in there. It's not a place you usually want to be at. So whether it is by CF, old age, in your bed, surrounded by people that love you, or by zombie apocalypse, we are all going to die. So, now that that's out of the way, how do we actually deal with death? How do we confront it? And how do we not let it control us? Well, as a sick kid who has personally dealt with death my entire life, here are some tips for how to properly think about it. Or
she's cute. I like her.
Properly think about it. Properly, how do you... Because I'm not giving you tips on how to die. So here are some tips on how to deal with our impending death.
Number one, let's hear it.
My first tip, and I honestly think this is the most important of them all, is to think about it. Don't let it be this really far-off, scary thing that may or may not happen, that we can't discuss, that we shouldn't talk about with other people. It's happening. It's going to happen. We're all going to die. And think...
I apologize for cutting her voice out, but I just got a few things to say throughout the video. But yeah, I totally agree. We're all going to pass away. I mean, I lost my brother almost a year ago, so no matter how young we are, you're never going to... I know when someone's gonna, pass away.
Thinking about it is actually the best way to cope with it, and the best way to not let it control you.
Yeah,
because when you think about it, when you actually really spend time, like I suggest actually mentally walk through your own death. I mean, as insane as that is, just not necessarily the circumstances, not where or how or when or any of that, but just the feeling of actually realizing that you are going to die right now, and then go through that in your head. And the more you do it, the more you think about it, the more you realize, oh, I really am going to be gone one day. The less it scares you, and the more comfortable you become with the topic, and then when you're comfortable with the topic, other people will become comfortable with the topic, and then we'll stop being such losers afraid of something completely normal.
Yeah, dying is normal, for sure. I mean, it's sad, but we're all going to be gone. But she's giving you guys tips, and stuff like this inspires me to be not so scared of certain things when it comes to dying or passing away. And people like this are just incredible people, and sadly, they're no longer with us. Number two.
So I like to talk about something called the bucket list misconception, which is this idea that if you know you are going to die, you have this urge to like go out and conquer the world and like go bungee jump and skydive and swim with the eels, and you know what I mean? The truth of the matter is when you realize that you're going to die, the biggest thing, at least for me and a lot of other people that I've talked to, the biggest thing is you just want to live life slowly. You just want to enjoy it. So my lesson here is don't let death make decisions for you. The point shouldn't be to try and just cram everything out before we die. Because then what we're creating isn't worth creating. We shouldn't really be doing things in our life just because we may die soon. Because we're all going to possibly die soon. So if we live our life making decisions and choices based off of that, then the things we're making aren't quite worth making. I feel like the stuff worth doing in your life is the stuff that you're called to do because you feel like the world needs it, not because you just want to cram it out before you die.
Number three. Sorry. Yeah, bucket lists I've heard about. There's tons of that I want to put on my bucket list, but
I think it's really fun, is to plan your funeral. So please don't go running for the hills. You don't want your funeral to be this weird thing that like your gross Aunt Mildred plans for you. You want it to be something that you plan and you create. You have a say in the matter. Also, it helps you realize that life is still going to go on after you're dead. I mean, these people that you love, the people in your life, are still going to be there. And they're still going to mourn you. And so to kind of, I feel like actually what's really fun is to involve your family in it. I did this when I was around 14. Me and my mom sat down and we were like, okay, if you really do die, what do you want? You know? And my thing was, I said, I want to, so I want to be burned and then split up into 3 different piles. And one of those piles goes into these little jars. And I'm going to give the jars to different family members. And it's going to have a place on the world on each jar. And they have to travel to that place and go and dump it. And so then it's forcing them to actually travel. And then some planted in a tree. And then some put it into paint. And then that paint used to paint some cool pictures. Like, come up with interesting, cool things that you want done. If you want to be buried, come up with, like, a funny eulogy that you write yourself and you have someone read. You know, like, plan really cool, funky music, cool colors. Have it in weird places. Like, have a funeral in a public place or something. Like, if you just have, like, I thought this was interesting. They wanted to have their funeral done like a flash mob when flash mobs were still, like, a really big thing. Like, have a flash mob during your funeral. Do something interesting. Do something to celebrate your life and not just mourn it. Another part of the planning out your funeral is planning out your last words. This is actually really cool. You can go around and like just ask people in your life, like what would be the most epic like last words for you to say, and then write those down and have like a little book of like possible last words for you to say. Just make sure that when you're actually dying, you really got to remember this. I used to always do that when you go into surgery and they put you down under anesthesia. There's kind of a moment of panic when you realize you could easily die on the operating table, and this could be it, and they're medically inducing you under. And so I used to always think of, what would I say? What would be my last words? I still haven't figured it out. It's also interesting to read other people's last words, you know? See, like, what other people leave the world with of them, you know? And some of them are hilarious. It makes absolutely no sense. There's actually, like, a whole website of it. It's really, you know, if you're bored on a Sunday, read people's last words. And then, you know, maybe one day your last words will be up there with famous last words. Something to think about. Something to be excited about for your death.
Is that it? You know, it's sad because this girl, this independent woman, had one of the worst diseases you could ever have. I had a friend who had the same disease, and he was in this hospital. He basically passed away with me and my other friends in the room. You guys, let me give you some advice. Just don't expect everything in your life to come right away. Alright, let certain stuff take time to get there, and then do something else that you enjoy a little bit more until that big moment comes. I know that may not make sense to some people, but it's best I could say something like that. But yeah, stuff like this is just really sad. But yeah, it's true. What you said was true. We're all going to be gone one day, and it's going to hit people hard. It's just going to be a whole nother alternative in your life. But yeah, just make sure you guys go to a family member, go to a friend, and make sure they're okay, because you never know when their last day will be. But yeah, This might be the last video I make today because I am sweaty. I just went from my morning jog, and I just want to lay things low for today because I'm just not feeling it today. But yeah, Claire is just an inspirational person. She was an absolute sweetheart, and she was compelling. She was relatable in some ways, and let's just remember her from the amazing person she was. And yeah, I just subscribed to her, so yeah, pray for her parents and all that. So yeah, I love you guys to death, and thank you all for watching. Bye.